Now we will apply the principles that we have learned so far to convert units, okay, to convert units. And the first example that we will look at is the example of an ATM, right? An ATM. So here's the problem. An ATM has a certain, can only dispense a certain certain denominations, right? So an ATM may dispense $100, for example. It can dispense $100 bills. It can dispense, I don't know, $20 bills. It can dispense $5 bills and $1 bills. So let's say that's how the ATM is designed. It can only dispense $100 bills, $20 bills, $5 bills, or $1 bills, right? Now, whatever amount you give the ATM, right, whatever amount you ask from the ATM, it will have to be satisfied by using a different number of $100 bills and $20 bills and 5 and 1 and so forth, right? Now, the problem is, how do you calculate how many $100 bills to dispense, how many $20 bills to dispense, right? And so on and so forth. For example, if you ask for, I don't know, $1,223, I'm sorry, $1,234, right? The ATM will give you $1,200 in 12 bills, in 12 $100 bills, right? In 12 $100 bills, $100 bills. And the remaining, which is 34, it will give you a $120 bill. So it will give you $20 in one $20 bill. So what's remaining? So it has given you 1220, right? And the remaining is 14. So it will give you $10 in two $5 bills, and then the remaining $4 in four $1 bills, right? So if you add all these, right, you have 1200 into 1200, I'm sorry, 1200 times 12 times 100, right? So you have 12 $100 bills, and then you have one $20 bill, and then you have two $5 bills, and then four $1 bills. So that is 1200 plus 20 plus 10 plus 4, which is 34. 1 2 3 4, right? So this calculation is actually very simple, right? And it follows the same principles. You divide by 100, take the quotient, that gives you 12, right? And then for the remainder, you try to pay with the smaller bills, which is 25 and 1, right? But essentially, it follows the same principle like before. But instead of dividing by 10 and modulo 10, right? Instead of these two operations, divided by 10 or modulo 10, we divide by 100, we divide by 20, 5, and so on and so forth, okay? So let's see how the program looks like. So here's the program, okay? An ATM can only dispense $100, $20, 5 and $1 bills, as I said before. So given an amount, calculate how many of each denominations will the ATM dispense, right? So you enter an amount, right? And you store that into a variable called amount, right? So let's say the user enters, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what? Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the amount you want to withdraw from the ATM, right? So how many hundreds would you dispense, right? So hundreds equals amount divided by 100. So if you divide this number by 100, you get 12, right? That's your quotient. So your quotient is 12, and your remainder, your quotient is 12, right? And 12 times 100 is 1200, and your remainder is 34, right? Because when you divide this, you get 12.34, right? Anyways, so that's the first division, right? So we have hundreds equals amount divided by 100, which is the quotient, right? So hundreds is 12. So we have 12 $100 bills, and the remaining amount is 34. So we update the amount. So amount was initially 1234, 1234. Now the new value of amount is the old value of amount, which is 1234, modulo 100, right? Which is the remainder of the division of the amount 1234 and 100. And that is 34, right? That is 34. So the new value of amount is 34. Next, you have already dispensed $1,200 worth of cash with $100 bills. What's remaining is you have to dispense $34, right? How would you dispense $34? So you will try to dispense as much as you can with $20 bills because that's the next highest denomination, right? So you just divide the amount by 20. 34 divided by 20. And that will give you the quotient of 1. And the remainder would be 14, right? So the quotient, the 20s would be, this would be 1. The variable 20s would be 1. And you update the amount. You update the amount. The amount previously was 34. You divide it by 20. You take the remainder and you update the value. So now amount has 14. The remainder, right? Now you have already dispensed 1200 plus 20, which is $1,220 worth of cash, right? You've already dispensed this amount. What's remaining is this $14. This $14 you'll have to dispense using $5 and $1 bills, right? So how will you do that? You take the amount 14, you divide it by 5, and that will give you a quotient of 2 and a remainder of 4, right? And that's what we do, right? 5s equals amount divided by 5, and the quotient we save in the variable 5s, which is 2, right? So we have 2 5s, and the remainder is you just dispense using $1 bills, which is 4, right? And at the end you write hundreds, the variable hundreds, which is replaced by the value 12, right? 12 $100 bills, comma, and then this 20s, that's 1 $20 bills. It's not perfect grammar, but that's okay. $20 bills, and then 5s $5 bills. So 5s has, that's 2, right? So 2 $5 bills and 1s, that is 4 $1 bills. So your final output would be 12 $100 bills, 1 $20 bills, right? 2 $5 bills and 4 $1 bills. Okay.